So if you didn't hear, Jerry Jones, being the ridiculously old billionaire that he is, he has been on the radio show on The Fan, a radio station down in Dallas, weekly. He is on there to talk about the Cowboys, his dealings, things like that. He is the one that actually executive produces said show, right? So he was on the show and he got asked some questions about the Cowboys' woes, and he decided to be a prick about it. This is going to be the ESPN reporting on Todd Archer, and I'm also going to play a little bit of that for you. But here we go. Jerry Jones got heated during his weekly radio appearance Tuesday when he was about to be asked whether the Dallas Cowboys' lack of aggressiveness in the offseason has played a part in their 3-3 start. The Cowboys' longtime owner and general manager appeared to even threaten the jobs of host Shan Sheriff, R.J. Choppy, and Bobby Belt.
You think I'm interested on a damn phone call with you over a radio and sitting here and throwing all the good out with the dishwater? You have got to be smoking something over there this morning. This is not your job. Your job isn't to let me go over all the reasons that I did something and I'm sorry that I did it. That's not your job. So I'll get somebody else to ask these questions, man.
Jerry, we're trying to figure out why the team is.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. You're not going to figure out what the team is doing right or wrong. If you are, or any 5 or 10 like you, you need to come to this meeting I'm going to today. There are 32 teams here. You're geniuses. Don't really think you're going to sit here with a microphone and tell me all of the things that I've done wrong and without going over the rights. You want some conversation this morning? You're getting it.
Jones was traveling Tuesday to Atlanta for the Fall NFL League meeting, but the fallout from the Cowboys' worst home loss during his tenure, a 47-9 defeat to the Detroit Lions, is still ringing. Jones backed the strength of the Cowboys roster, saying, well, first of all, where are you going to get any players? Seriously, where are you going to get any players for next week against San Francisco? Jones referring to the Cowboys' next game following their Week 7 bye. Now, number one, I've seen these players. I've seen every single one of them execute like you want the plays to be executed and do their job within the role. That didn't happen the other day, and we paid the consequences for it. But I've seen the players do it. Jones mentioned Dallas's recent record-breaking deals with quarterback Dak Prescott and wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, and also cited Dallas's short-handed defense, which was ravaged by injuries in recent weeks. I know we have outstanding personnel, he said, very outstanding personnel. We just made our quarterback the highest-paid player in the NFL. We just topped the receiver list charts. So we made our bed relative to how we're going to approach with our key people. We were short-handed out there on defense, but everybody gets short-handed. That's really not an excuse in the NFL. Your depth should step up, blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm going to give Dallas a lot of credit. Detroit a lot of credit. They came after us and got after us, and they put guys on top defense, blah-de-blah-de-blue. Earlier in the interview, Jones did not let a question get finished about a potential head coaching change with Mike McCarthy, noting he had done so one time in 2010 from Wade Phillips to Jason Garrett, and I won't be making any others during the season, he said. The Cowboys were 1-7 at the time of Wade Phillips' dismissal, and Jones expressed some regret about the move because Phillips went on to win a Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos as their defensive coordinator. Jones said that in-season coaching changes generally aren't good, and they usually are ineffective. They just aren't good. Cowboys are ranked 25th in defense in terms of yards and 30th in points per game after finishing last year 5th in both categories. They have had numerous injuries to overcome, including 4 starters who have missed at least one game: Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, Eric Kendricks, and Deron Bland. Offensively, they're averaging just 21 points a game after finishing first last year with 29.9 points per contest. The Cowboys' 11 giveaways are the second most in the league. All right, look. The one thing Jerry has going for him, and that's something that can be said a million times over, he has literally the highest valuated sports team in the world. And has for, I want to say it's been almost a decade. It could have been maybe 5 to 7 years, but it's something insane where he passed Man U, he passed the Yankees, all that, and the Cowboys have held that spot down and continue to gain billions in valuation every single year. So for that, good on you, Jerry. Way to go, buddy. As far as everything else, though, this is the most disrespectful, ridiculous thing that I have ever seen. I don't give a shit if you're the billionaire and you're their boss, and that's part of the problem with the boss coming on the show one way or the other, because this wasn't like a, Hey, Jerry, so what about this whole story we've heard about you out here on party buses with females? You know what I'm talking about? Go look up the photos with Jerry doing all sorts of, crazy shit. Like if Robert Kraft, all the massage shit that was going on, if Robert Kraft had his radio show that he was going on to talk about the Patriots and they were asking him a bunch of questions about that, and that's completely different. Because, he should be called out about it, but if it's your radio show, I can understand the idea of look, let that be handled with other media, let that be handled in the courts, don't bring that. If that's what you're talking about, sure. It's not what this was. This was a conversation where the Cowboys are bad. You have decided to make yourself GM. You've been told a million times you're not a good GM, and truthfully, you're not, bro. For example, the things you do well as a GM, I actually think that a lot of your draft picks are stellar. We've had some of the best O-lines we've ever seen. The studs like Ezekiel Elliott and Des Bryant and CeeDee Lamb, finding Dak where you found him. He's very good at drafting, him and Steven. I give him all the credit in the world for that. But to know that in the offseason, the two major issues that we had were we had no run game and we had no run defense, and you don't fix either. You bring back Zeke. I love Zeke, and if you want to have him as a backup type situation, fine. But you couldn't find $6 million to go get Derrick Henry, who was probably going to break 2,000 yards yet again with the Baltimore Ravens this year and make them a Super Bowl contender. You can't go and find pieces to put on the run defense. And on top of that, it's very clear that the coach that really had everybody going, the coach that really was making things happen for the Cowboys was Dan Quinn. And you not only let him walk to a division rival where they now, with their rookie quarterback, are, I believe, either 5-1 or 4-2, something like that, where they're rolling with Jaden Daniels. That defense is playing hard. They're playing the same hard-nosed defense that we were seeing out of us last year that put us in those fifth-place categories. So you let him walk, you keep the crappy coach, and then don't add personnel. You only lose them as far as being able to solve problems. Bro, you deserve those questions and more. And for you to then turn around and tell these gentlemen who are just doing their job, and as it is implied, being the fan, trying to ask questions that we are all saying, the people that make your damn franchise as valued as it is, asking some simple questions of why don't you fix this stuff, and you want to cop an attitude? I get it was this was the worst defeat on your birthday, but bro, grow up. If you're 80-something, whatever, man, you just had your birthday. Grow up, bro. I get it. You have gotten everything in life that you could have ever possibly wanted. And if you're real serious about being all in, if you're real serious about trying to win a Super Bowl, before you off this earthly plane, bro, I need you to check your damn ego. I need you to stop being the GM, and I need you to do some shit to actually make the team move forward. That's all I'm saying. Now, you can take everything I'm saying. You probably don't give a fuck. You're never going to see this. And there might be people in here that I'm saying that I'm delusional. But, again, as a fan, as someone that's buying in this product, I would genuinely expect that you're trying to do better. I understand now why my friends who are diehard Laker fans are frustrated as hell about things that have been going on, man. I get it. And that has been the curse of being a Cowboys fan as far as this is. I'm tired of Stephen A. Smith being able to run his mouth. I'm tired of all these people putting all these fucking memes out here. And all of that keeps happening because you keep making decisions that protect your ego instead of actually accelerating the team to the next level. I think Dak is that dude. I think CeeDee is that dude. I think Micah is that dude. But there are things that need to be put into place to make us better. We need that run game. We need to see Micah be able to get involved in said run defense like that. So you got to give him those keys and you got to give him the right coaching staff to be able to get there. And this idea of waiting all summer, you knew you were going to pay Dak and CeeDee, and you waited until the 11th hour to do that. And then on top of that, again, you let a gem like Derrick Henry, who's probably going to go down as the best running back of this generation. It would be Adrian Peterson and then probably him as far as that stepping stone of who was that number one. You let him go over $6 million. I don't know all of your finances. I don't know the full team salary cap and how you would have worked that out, but there's no way in hell that if you had gone to Dak and CeeDee been like, guys, I'm not going to give you the $60 million a year, Dak. I'm going to give you 55 or 57. I'm not going to give you I believe it was, 6, or whatever he's giving CeeDee. I'm going to cut it both back so I can go get y'all Derrick fucking Henry, and you're going to get paid and win a Super Bowl. You do shit like that. That shows that you're genuinely all in. Jesus Christ, man. I'm tired of this shit. The simple fact, I'm not cheering, but the simple fact that I find myself actually really happy for other teams that should be rivals, to see Caleb Williams figuring it out and the Bears looking like they might finally be over the woes. But to see Jaden Daniels over in Washington and know that Dan Quinn over with this head coaching job, and I'm actually like, man, good for y'all. I should not be saying that about Washington for any fucking reason, but I've ranted enough. There's plenty of other stories we need to get to. Let me know what you think down in the comments about Jerry Jones's comments, if you think they're inappropriate to have said to his employees that asked basic questions. They did not grill him. They did not get into personal accounts. They asked the GM, that was the guest, F the owner, the GM was being asked questions. Tell me what you think, man. Damn.